The news broke just 5 minutes ago. A flash on a news ticker, not a formal announcement. The words were stark. China, 125% tariff, U.S. electric vehicles. At Mar-a-Lago, Trump was in a meeting when an aide rushed in, tablet in hand. The headlines silenced the room. Trump's face turned to stone. The shockwave from Beijing hit Palm Beach and was about to ripple across America. This wasn't just another trade dispute, it was a calculated strike. The 125% figure was designed to send a message and inflict maximum pain. For years, Trump wielded tariffs as his weapon in the trade war, but China just proved it could play the same game, harder. The news alert signaled a dangerous new phase in the world's most important economic relationship. The economic landscape was redrawn in minutes. The world watched, waiting for America's response. The shockwave was only beginning. The world braced for what would come next. What is this new tariff? It's a 125% tax on every U.S. electric vehicle imported into China. An American EV that cost $50,000 now sells for $112,500 in China, effectively unsellable. The tariff is a wall, blocking U.S. electric cars from the world's largest auto market. This isn't a negotiation tactic, it's economic warfare in a crucial sector. Why now? Retaliation. Trump had threatened a 60% tariff on all Chinese imports. China struck first, targeting a sector where America is both vulnerable and ambitious. The EV industry is a source of national pride and future growth for the U.S. By targeting EVs, China hit America where it hurts most. The timing is no accident. Elections are near, and China's move injects itself into American politics. Trump is forced to react, but any escalation risks the U.S. economy. China knows this. The tariff is a strategic move on a global chessboard designed to create chaos for American leadership and show China won't be bullied. It's a power play. The tariff also boosts China's own EV industry. Companies like BYD, NIO, and XPeng now have a massive advantage at home. With American competitors locked out, Chinese brands can dominate their market and expand globally. The tariff is both a shield and a sword for Beijing. It punishes the U.S. and protects China's domestic champions. The move is calculated, not reactionary. It's about shaping the future of the global auto industry. The U.S. must now rethink its entire EV strategy. The world is watching to see if America can adapt. The stakes are enormous. The game has changed. The U.S.-China trade war began in 2018, when Trump imposed tariffs on billions in Chinese goods, aiming to stop unfair trade. China hit back, targeting American agriculture, hurting Trump's base. Billions in trade were affected. Businesses and consumers on both sides felt the pain. In 2020, a Phase 1 deal paused the fight, but core issues, technology, intellectual property, remained unresolved. The 125% EV tariff is a direct continuation of the war that began in 2018. The world's two largest economies are locked in a struggle shaping global markets. The US and China are playing for keeps. The stakes have never been higher. The impact on US automakers is immediate and severe. Tesla, Ford, GM, all had big plans for China, investing billions in factories and sales networks. Now, US-built models are locked out of the world's largest market. The EV industry, once a source of new American jobs, faces a harsh reality. If China is closed, the math for building and selling EVs in America no longer works. Companies may slow expansion, delay hiring, or even cut jobs in states like Michigan and Ohio. The pain ripples through the supply chain. Hundreds of smaller companies, thousands of workers, suppliers counting on rising EV production now face fewer orders and layoffs. The tariff is a stone in a pond, its effects spread far and wide. Innovation could suffer too. US and Chinese EV companies were in a fierce race, driving better technology and lower prices. Walling off the Chinese market reduces competition, slowing progress for everyone. American companies have less incentive to innovate for Chinese consumers. Chinese companies face less pressure at home. The entire industry could stagnate. The tariff is a blow to American manufacturing and to global innovation. The future of the EV race just got a lot more uncertain. Trump's reaction was swift and furious. He called the Chinese tariff an act of economic war and promised a response 10 times stronger. His supporters rallied, seeing this as proof he was right about China. In Washington, lawmakers from both parties condemned China's move, but unity ended there. Some, aligned with Trump, demanded massive retaliation, new tariffs, more escalation. Others urged caution, fearing an all-out trade war would hurt the U.S. economy. Higher tariffs mean higher prices for American families, disrupted supply chains, and market turmoil. Some leaders called for a strategic multilateral approach, working with allies to pressure China. The U.S. government is deeply divided. The path of massive retaliation is politically popular but economically risky. The path of caution is safer but could be seen as weak. Trump is caught in the middle. His next move will shape the US economy and his political fate. The stakes are enormous. The world is watching for America's response. The dilemma is clear: act boldly and risk economic pain, or act carefully and risk looking weak. The decision will define the next phase of the conflict. America stands at a crossroads. The choice will echo for years. The tariff reshapes the EV industry on both sides. American companies lose access to 1.4 billion Chinese consumers, a huge blow to global ambitions. Competing in China forced US automakers to innovate. Without that pressure, they risk falling behind. Now, they must focus on North America and Europe, smaller, more crowded markets. Chinese EV makers like BYD are the clear winners. With the home market to themselves, they can use profits to fund R&D and expand globally. The Chinese government will likely boost support, subsidies, research grants, and more. The tariff acts as a protective bubble, letting China's EV champions grow stronger. The competition shifts to Europe, Southeast Asia, and South America. Chinese brands with lower costs and better tech are already making inroads. American companies now face a tougher fight on multiple fronts. A global price war could benefit consumers but squeeze automakers. The US relies on free market competition. China uses state-led industrial policy. The 125% tariff is China's most aggressive move yet, breaking the rules to ensure its industries win. The playing field is now anything but level. The tariff's impact goes far beyond the US and China. It reshapes the global economic map. Countries like Germany and France with their own car industries must now choose sides. They're pressured by Washington to punish China, but tempted to fill the gap left by US automakers. Alliances may crack as nations pursue their own interests. The US push for a coalition against China just got harder. Allies may see America's approach as too aggressive, choosing independent paths with Beijing. China's move is designed to divide the US from its partners, a classic divide and conquer strategy. New economic blocs could form, one around the US, one around China. Trade and technology may become confined within these blocs, reversing decades of globalization. The dream of a single, integrated global economy is fading. The 125% tariff could be the moment that pushes the world toward division. The future of global institutions like the WTO is at stake. Both the US and China are ignoring the rules, preferring unilateral action. The WTO's authority is eroding. If the world's largest economies won't play by the rules, the system risks collapse. The result, a more chaotic, unpredictable world for all. The stakes are global and growing. The road ahead is filled with risks, and a few unexpected opportunities. The greatest risk: escalation. If the US responds with massive new tariffs, the trade war could spiral, triggering a global recession. Supply chains would shatter, prices would soar, and markets could crash. This is the nightmare scenario leaders want to avoid. Another risk: the American EV industry losing its edge. Without China, US companies may become insular, while Chinese firms leap ahead. In a decade, China could dominate EV technology and quality. But there are opportunities. This crisis could be a wake-up call for the US, a chance to double down on innovation. Government and industry could accelerate research in batteries, software, and manufacturing. It could spur investment in training a new generation of engineers and workers. The shock might drive a true manufacturing renaissance. American companies may also diversify, seeking new markets in India, Brazil, Indonesia, and Africa. Building stronger trade ties with emerging economies could make the US more resilient. The pain of this moment could lead to a healthier, more balanced global trade posture. The challenge is real, but so is the potential for renewal. The next steps will determine whether the US adapts or falls behind. The world is watching. China's 125% tariff on American EVs is a game changer. It's a direct response to years of US trade pressure, meant to hurt the American economy, challenge Trump, and boost China's champions. US automakers are locked out of the world's largest market. American jobs are at risk. The EV revolution's plans are in chaos. The key question: how will the US respond? Will Trump escalate, risking global economic war? Or will leaders find a more strategic, patient path? Watch three things: Trump's next move, global markets' reaction, and whether America's allies stand together or go their own way. The EV crisis of 2025 is about more than cars. It's about power and the future of the global economy. The road ahead is uncertain and perilous. The dream of a peaceful, integrated global marketplace is slipping away. The world has entered a new, more dangerous chapter in great power competition. The outcome is unwritten. The stakes could not be higher.